What's going on, everybody? I am Will here, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, then I would love it if you would go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me after checking out all the rest of my content. I will greatly appreciate it, and it'll help you make other videos in the future. Today I got some Naruto Shinobi Strikers in the background for you all to enjoy. It's a game I picked up maybe 3 weeks ago. I started playing it on Game Pass because there's no games to play, and I was like, I mess with Naruto, and I've been waiting for something that I could play as like a fighting game, besides like the stuff that I already have. So I tried it, and I think I'm pretty decent at it. So you can see me work some people in the background. But I actually want to keep in theme with the game that I'm playing today and talk about anime. Yeah, anime. I actually want to talk about if anime is cool or not. I got a little background for you just to start off. So I've been watching anime for maybe about I don't even know. Maybe about six years now. 6 years. I can't believe it's that long. Wow. But it's been about 6 years since I started watching anime, and over time it's definitely been a difference in the way that people approach anime on a social level around the I can't say around the world, in the US, and you can get more particular, but I'd probably do that in another video. But I've seen the change where people are just more open to watching anime, consuming anime, whether it be manga or video games or movie adaptations. It's just kind of interesting to see the change that's happened with anime. It's kind of how things happen with games, where now things like esports are more of a popular thing, and people are actually making real money from it. So people are kind of more open to the idea of playing video games. But it's kind of the same for anime, where there are certain anime that like we all know, and then there's just anime in general where like you probably would never have heard of it if you hadn't met somebody who did know of it. But you have things like social media where you'll see a clip from something, or you'll see something funny from it, like a meme, and then you're like, oh, what is this? And you go in the comments, and then somebody tells you about how it's amazing. Maybe I'm just speaking from experience, but yeah, like I just thought I'd talk about anime, and like I said, if it's cool to watch. So I'm gonna answer that really quickly. Actually, yeah, it's cool to watch. But I was definitely not one of those people who watched it from the beginning. Back before I started watching it, my stepdad, he would have watched it like all the time. Like that was one of his main sources of TV. Like he used to watch that and stuff like Battlestar Galactica and stuff on Sci-Fi. But he would be watching anime, and like I had caught glimpses of it, which brings me back to my the point I just made about how like people know about certain ones. Like I knew about Dragon Ball Z, I knew about Naruto. I didn't know Inuyasha was one at first, but then I kind of realized it once I grew up. I've seen like glimpses of Bleach, and then I actually didn't know until recently, like as I started to watch anime, but like Boondocks is considered anime, and my people know what Boondocks is. We know what Boondocks is, but I didn't know Boondocks was an anime, and that's a comedy. It's like a comedy that is centered around like black culture and black people and the experiences that they have. And it's like, for that to be an anime, it was one of those first animes that really like brought people in. And there's other stuff like what's it called? Afro Samurai, stuff like that. So it's a lot of different ways that anime has been around me, but I never really truly thought of it to be something I want to watch, especially being younger. And as I grew up going through high school, like I would see my dad watch it and it'd be like, big titties everywhere and shit. And I'm like, yo, oh no, I can't watch this. Like I'm not gonna get, if I'm not gonna get caught watching porn, I'm definitely not gonna get caught watching some animated titties. Like too much, but it is what it is. But I thought it was just like the weirdest thing to watch back then. I was like, yo, what is this? Like, I just thought it was like super perverted, and I think that's kind of the perception that a lot of people had, even to this day. Like as I've watched anime, I've learned that fan service, which is the term for, like the titties and like the cute girls, the waifus, stuff like that. Like that's kind of the trope that comes with anime, but I've learned to accept it as a thing, and I don't search it out. If it's there, it's there, but like I'm not finna go watch like something just because it has a whole bunch of titties in it. And I'm gonna be honest. I fell into that trap. I fell into that trap, and I watched some of that stuff at the beginning, but I didn't know any better. Like it was just like anime on Netflix that I saw, and I was like, oh, what's this? I was like, okay, well, I'll check it out. And then it was like 3 or 4 or 5 big titty girls that were all fiending for this one dude, and I'm like, yo, what is this, yo? This is not realistic. But back to the point though, like as I grew up and I watched it, I started to realize like, yo, this is like some thorough content. Like some of the first shows I watched maybe aren't like the shows that I would have even seen myself watching at the beginning, but like I saw stuff like Rosario and Vampire, what was it? I think it's called Bigada Kid, something like that. I don't remember the exact name of it. So you can correct me in the comments if you like stay on top of that stuff. I saw stuff like like the OGs know about Sakurai? Like that's actually one of the shows I'm talking about, where I didn't know that's what it was about, and then I got in there and it was like that kind of, but it was like, yo, this is actually kind of fun, like I had a good time watching stuff like that. And I kind of started to get further into some of the other different types of anime that was out there, and eventually I started watching things like, and I know people are gonna not like this, but I watched Sword Art Online and I liked it. Okay. I watched stuff like Sword Art Online. I watched stuff like Fate Zero. At the time it was just Fate Zero, but like I watched like Unlimited Blade Works, and I like that way more. It's like one of my favorites. I don't have many favorites, but that's one of my favorites. I watched stuff like that. I went back and watched Trigon, if you know what it is. Like there's a lot of different animes that I watched, and I was like, yo, this is actually some really decent content. It was story, it was characters, it was comedy, which I did not expect that like would be something that I actually was attracted to. But there's comedy, there's different types of anime, that they can appeal to different tastes. Like it's weird because I'm not really a person that likes like emotions like that or feelings. Like I'm not heartless or like anything like that, or like I got no soul or something. But like it's one of those things where like I'm just not like the really emotional type. But I really find something like appealing about like those action comedy romance animes, and it's like that's like my favorite thing to watch. And it's just one of those things that I've had grown up and that's the only thing I watch now. Like I watch YouTube and I watch anime. Like I don't even really watch like normal TV anymore because most of it is trash, and like it's mostly reality TV. And you have your shows like Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. You have like Insecure and stuff like that. You have like those shows that can bring an audience in, and they are actually pretty decent. But I just prefer anime better. Like it's just something that I've really started to grow for over time, and it's really entertaining to me. And just piggybacking off of that, going into the question that I posed, is it cool to watch? And I answered it pretty quickly, and yeah, it's cool to watch, but it's still stigma behind it for the reason that I kind of said at the beginning. But you know, people see it as like cartoons where you're too old to watch anime, which is ridiculous to me. But you know, people see that it's like cartoonish and it's just lame, and you know, like it's never really an explanation of why it's lame besides those two things. But once you get past that, it's pretty simple to see that it's more than just the quote-unquote cartoon. Like, yeah, it's cartoon, it's Japanese cartoon, you know. And I don't read manga because I don't like to read. Maybe you know what, we're just gonna skip that. But like, I don't read manga, and I don't watch subtitles, which is probably gonna get a lot of hate too, so I expect it. But just overall, like, I really enjoy watching anime now, and you know, like, I would love to invite people to join in and watch that stuff too now, because there's so much anime out there. Like people who watch anime know about like things like Food Wars. Like, I love cooking shows. I love cooking. Well, when I'm not lazy, but like I like cooking. I ain't gonna say I love it, but I like cooking. But I love watching people cooking. I love eating, and like, you know, Food Wars is one of those anime where it's like it's about food, and they're like really making actual recipes, but they do it in the anime fashion where it's over the top. You know, there's fan service to, you know, just I guess exemplify the cooking, and you know, it's a way that's used. You know, that's okay. You know, sometimes it is a little cringeworthy, but like, you know, it's the way it's used that I appreciate. And I feel like, you know, as time goes on, I feel like anime is going to be a lot more accepted than it is now. And right now, it's pretty accepted. But I really feel like anime is going to be in a spot soon where people watch it and it's going to be like their normal daily show. And it's just so much out there that you can watch, and there's so many different types of anime and so many anime in general that, you know, you get lost in it. And it's like, I've literally binge watched shows because, like, yo, it was just that entertaining to me, and I was like, I just want to go to the next one. And you know, it's different. There's just so much like variety when it comes to the ways that you can watch it. I mean, you know, like, there's 24 episode series, there's 12 episode series, there's 6 episode series, there's movies, you know, and it's like, it's just a really good thing knowing that from where it came from back when I was growing up to the way it is now, like, it's a really big difference. And I feel like it's one of those things, along with other things in the world, where you have to give it time and you have to really see it for what it is and not, you know, believe misconceptions and form your own opinion. And, you know, that's what I had to do at the end of the day. And there's so many different anime that I could talk about. Like I said, the only reason I brought Naruto is because I was playing it. But, you know, there's so many different animes out there that you can watch. And, you know, hopefully talking about this will start to spark your interest a little bit. I know that's how it happened for me. But, yeah, that was just a little small discussion. So, you know, if you want to check out some anime, let me know in the comments. I got you. I got the heat on deck. Got it. Well, yeah, besides that though, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down. What is your favorite anime right now? I don't have one right now, but I gotta think about it. I'll let you know. I'll put it in the comments. But yeah, I'm gone, so catch y'all next video.